Hi there, Samuel here. Apologies, this particular video didn't really come off perfect in terms of frame rate, but we checked it out and the audio is still good. And personally, I love the content that is in the video, so I just needed to get it out there, despite the actual frame rate of the video being a little slow at times. But I'm sure you'll like it anyway. And I wanted to publish it instead of trashing it. So enjoy. Hey there, Samuel Larsen here. In this video, I'm going to share 7 ways on how you can outcompete even the biggest brands, the brands that you're most afraid of, like Amazon, Walmart, and these huge players with big purchasing powers by being specific and being relevant to your customers. So keep watching. I'm going to share you really good tips. We live in an era where today's customers are completely spoiled by choice. They're spoiled in every possible way and they expect perfect service and they expect nothing going wrong. So if the customer experience is not perfect, it's already bad. So if they saw something new, like they get used to it so quickly. So today, let's say Uber comes to the market and people start using that. Now, in 3 months, they are used to it and now they are pissed if they have to wait extra few minutes for their car, which just a few months ago would have been completely unthinkable. And this is happening throughout the board. So the new level that these companies are constantly raising the standards to becomes the current level, and the consumers, they cannot go back to anymore. So just having a product in stock is now the default. It's not remarkable in any way to shop online. It might have been 15 years ago, but today you have everything available. So you can think of a few examples. One is Uber, but think of Amazon and their delivery policies. Like they will even trust you with the returns to say like, okay, I didn't get it, like, or this kind of thing. And yeah, no problem. Apple, constantly trying to be better with their UI, like really high standards in terms of design, and every last detail is thought of. Domino's, like a few years ago, it would have been unthinkable to have a delivery that you can track on your phone, but now you know exactly when it's coming, and that's a massive relief for the customer. Now all the delivery apps need to have that, otherwise they're just left in the dust. So the exceptional becomes the new standard, and it is always about raising the bar, and it needs to be for you too if you want to be one of these winning companies. So let's look at this. How can we do this better? And how can we seek for those tiniest improvements? Now, you might think that okay, Amazon is here and it's going to be really difficult to compete with Amazon. But I actually think it's easier than ever. And that might be really surprising. And I'm sure you're asking why. Now there's huge direct to consumer movement going on. So there's big brands like Nike fighting back versus Amazon, and they don't want to be selling directly to Amazon. Of course, there's still third-party sellers selling that, but these brands want to protect their brands, and they have a common interest to build this kind of third-party ecosystems with delivery and returns and this kind of thing. So in the future, like talking between like 1 to 3 year timeline, you will be able to get into this ecosystem as well and use that because it will be open for everybody. And that's because they want scale. And now Shopify is already doing some of this with their shipping warehouses. They are basically copying Amazon and using that same kind of warehouse policy where you have these massive warehouses and centralized shipping, etc. And then you don't need that middleman there in terms of having Amazon ship for you. So you can take care of this and be more price competitive because of that. So obviously you are not completely able to compete. So right now you can't have faster delivery times than Amazon. You probably cannot have the better return policy than Amazon. If you're selling the same products, you are not able to have the same purchasing power as Amazon. So most likely you will be more expensive. But there are ways to do this. So here are 7 ways to compete with the big boys. How can you out Amazon or out Walmart? So first of all, you can be more detailed with your niche and showcase more expertise. So let's take an example of a furniture store selling chairs. Now, if everything in that store is about chairs, furniture chairs, it will be a lot easier for that customer to get an idea of the brand, a lot easier for that customer to get an idea of the shipping policies, and a lot easier for that customer to browse around because there's no distractions, there's nothing that is irrelevant for that shopper. At the same time, you become the authority on that niche. So there's a lot of benefits in going niche. Also, at the same time, you know exactly what kind of shopper you have. So once you have this approach, you know the upsells, you know the cross sells. So niche is a great way. In terms of having a general store and selling every product, that should only be a research strategy. So you can see which products are working and then you'd go to a niche store from there. Now, you can brand your company and offering better, and that would be the second tip. So with this, let's say again, you have the furniture chair store. You can make that only about those. Now, you sort of subconsciously in the buyer's mind instantly become an authority in that. So instead of being this generic seller, now you are the expert and you can hone in that branding with saying like, okay, we only use this kind of wood or all our products are made in the US. And the general stores will never be able to do it. Third, you can be the face of your brand. Like, for example, I'm the face of my brand, growgurus.com, and everything runs through me in a sense. But people want to buy from people and they want to know, okay, this is who I am buying from. People don't, if they can, generally don't like to buy from big brands. Obviously, big brands does provide that security around it, but there's always going to be a certain number of people that will never like that. And millennials are actually a really good example of that. So they are way more community oriented than, let's say, the baby boomers in terms of buying from big brands or seeking for this kind of security and shopping online. Then fourth, you can be way more on point with your email marketing and post-purchase upsells. So, for example, if you're a third-party seller on Amazon, you cannot get the email address of the buyer. And that means that the post-purchase sequence is just a very generic email marketing that Amazon will throw at you, like, okay, these are some products that you might be interested in as well. But there's no personal touch in there, and it's not written particularly for that niche. There's definitely no tips on how to use the product or no natural progression in building any kind of relationship. It is very transactional, and that's where you can step up and be better than them. Fifth point, you can better upsell and cross-sell. So obviously Amazon has a ton of data on which products are purchased with which products. But what they don't have is a human touch in that particular niche. And what they certainly don't have is this kind of recommendation or person-to-person contact. So if you can, with your upsells and cross-sells, be more humane and show why these are bought together or why you should add this, then it will be a lot more than just a product. In Amazon's emails, for example, it's just going to be a product. In Walmart's emails, it's just going to be a product. Like, oh, buy this too. How relevant does that seem? Not really relevant at all. So this is a huge opportunity for you as well. Then social media, Amazon, Facebook, Instagram. How relevant are they there? Would you want to follow that if you buy a chandelier, for example, if you're looking for one? There's no relevancy there. This also goes for the marketing. So Amazon and Facebook, like Amazon is not on Facebook or Instagram trying to promote their products generally. So you can go to the customer directly and very easily 1, 2, 3 steps, like get them to purchase or get them to micro convert to an email campaign. So there's this whole playing field for you to play in the ads market that the big players are not competed on. And there's many reasons for that. I'm not going to go into this, but basically that is all direct to consumer or drop shippers there that are competing for those dollars. And it's not a zero-sum game. So you can be better than the competition always and outcompete the competition because the competition is not perfect either. Then the last point, the 7th point, you can simply know your customers better and speak to them better. It goes back to a little bit about being more detailed in your niche and showcasing more expertise, but it goes to a level beyond that. What kind of language are your users using? What kind of niche are there? So let's say you're in a hunting niche and you're selling to these outback rednecks in the US, like Texas or something. You'd probably use a very different language than, let's say, you were in the beauty niche. And with that, you can build a brand around that. You can build a community around that. A good example of this is Boom by Cindy Joseph. They build a big brand around pro-aging for women. So they have women from 45 to 60 speaking to women to 45 from 60, and then 60 plus speaking to 60 plus. And with that, how relevant is that message going to be? Would you want to buy a faceless cosmetic from Amazon that just comes in a nice, well, brown package, and then you open it and there it is? It's just the product when what they're selling. Right? They're just selling the product. Now, the added value for you can be the product plus the experience, product plus the community. And with that, you can, of course, also better do the post purchases and upsell relevant products because you will know your customers better. And like I said, be able to speak to them better. So keep in mind, like, okay, these are the 7 strategies that you can use to outcompete with Amazon, Walmart, whatever big brands you have or big retailers you have. But even with all these advantages at your display, your customers will still expect what they're used to from the big sellers. And you must seek to provide that. You must know where you are strong and when you are weak. So you can't outcompete on price. You need to find added value benefits from buying from you, and you need to seek to have this experience that is so good that you can keep them in the loop, have them buy from you again, so you don't have to be constantly going for the one sale. It works for Amazon because Amazon has people coming back from uh, just randomly with very cheap costs for like per visitor. So with that, they can just have people browse products and they usually buy something. But you as a small retailer or a smaller retailer cannot afford that. There's no way people are just gonna remember you and come back if you don't build that engagement with them. So those are my tips. Have fun crushing Amazon, have fun crushing Walmart, have fun crushing all the big retailers, make them cry and beg that you never existed. So that's it. Um, Make sure to subscribe for the channel because I put out weekly videos now, and there's a lot of good tips coming from in the future. So have a fun day and make sure to like the video. Also comment if you have any questions. It's one of my favorite topics and I always like to discuss this. Until the next video. Thanks.